In the very heart of the South American continent, cradled between giants, lies a nation defined not by mountains or by coastlines, but by the slow, powerful pulse of its rivers. It is a land of rust-colored earth and subtropical abundance, a place of profound interiority where two languages and two histories have intertwined to create a single, resilient soul. This is a country that moves to its own quiet, steady rhythm, a well-kept secret on a continent known for drama. This is Paraguay. From the vantage point of a soaring bird, it reveals itself as a world divided by the great river that shares its name. To the east, a lush, humid landscape of farms, towns, and forests, where the vast majority of its people live out their lives in a tapestry of vibrant community. To the west, the Gran Chaco, a vast, semi-arid wilderness of thorny scrubland and hardy cattle ranches, one of the continent's last great frontiers, beautiful and forbidding in equal measure. But to look closer, beyond the geography, is to discover a society of profound warmth and deep-seated tradition, one that has not just survived its turbulent history, but has cultivated a unique and gentle way of life. This is a story not of isolation, but of a deep and abiding connection to the land that nurtures, to the family that anchors, and to the quiet, everyday rituals that define a nation. This is the story of life in Paraguay. Life here is shaped by a gentle, unhurried pace, one that is deeply attuned to the climate and the community. The subtropical sun is the great conductor of the daily orchestra, and its heat dictates the rhythm of every hour. The morning begins not with a jarring alarm, but with the organic sounds of a world waking up. The distant crowing of a rooster, the scrape of a chair on a tiled floor, the sizzle of mbeju on a hot pan. In the capital, Asunción, the day starts with a growing chorus of traffic, the whine of countless motorcycles weaving through the streets. But even there, in the residential barrios, life retains a neighborhood heartbeat. The local bakery, or panaderia, is a cornerstone of the morning, a place for fresh bread and warm, cheesy chipa. But more importantly, it is a hub for the first social interactions of the day. A quick chat about the weather, a shared laugh, a moment of human connection before the workday begins. This atmosphere of pervasive familiarity is a defining feature of Paraguayan society. In the small towns and villages that dot the countryside, anonymity is a foreign concept. Life is lived in close proximity, where neighbors are an extension of the family, bound by an unspoken social contract of mutual support. Doors are often left open to catch a breeze, and the line between a private home and the public street is beautifully blurred. A typical street is a mosaic of life, a meticulously cared-for home with a blooming garden of hibiscus and bougainvillea right next to one, showing the beautiful decay of time and tropical humidity. The ever-present red, white, and blue of the Paraguayan flag hanging from a balcony, a small, lovingly tended shrine to a saint in a front yard. Children play freely in the quiet lanes, their games of football watched over by the collective eyes of the entire block. There is a powerful sense of community, an unspoken understanding that one is never truly alone. Life moves at a human pace, unhurried, neighborly, and deeply rooted in place. Daily life in Paraguay is anchored in the bedrock of community, and the local market is its vibrant, beating heart. In the towns and villages, the day often revolves around simple, dependable routines, and a trip to the mercado is central to this rhythm. It is a sensory explosion, a place where farmers sell their produce, where artisans display their crafts, and where the air is filled with the lively sounds of commerce and conversation in a fluid mix of Spanish and Guarani. It is a place where relationships are as important as transactions. The woman selling yuyos, the fresh herbs essential for tereré, knows her customers by name, asking after their families as she expertly bundles together a custom mix. These small daily exchanges are the threads that weave the social fabric together, reinforcing bonds of trust and familiarity. The family unit is the undisputed center of the Paraguayan universe. It is a powerful, multi-generational entity, a source of immense strength, identity, and support. Homes are sanctuaries of shade and comfort, havens from the intense midday sun with cool, tiled floors and high ceilings. They are places of constant, casual hospitality, where the offer of a cold glass of water or a seat in the shade is extended freely and sincerely. It is common for grandparents, parents, and children to live under one roof or on the same street, creating a resilient support network that forms the backbone of the community. The abuela, the grandmother, is often the anchor of the home, the keeper of recipes and family history. Children grow up surrounded by a wide circle of aunts, uncles, and a sprawling web of cousins with a profound sense of security and belonging. This inherent closeness fosters a powerful sense of collective responsibility. When a family faces a challenge, an illness, a financial hardship, the community instinctively rallies around them, offering support without ever needing to be asked. It is a deeply ingrained understanding that the well-being of the individual is inseparable from the well-being of the whole. Tradition in Paraguay is not a relic of the past, preserved under glass. It is a living, breathing force that permeates every aspect of daily life. The nation's soul is found in its unique dual identity, born from the fusion of Spanish colonial history and the deep, enduring roots of the indigenous Guaraní people. This is not a culture where one has replaced the other. It is a place where they have intertwined to create something entirely new. The most powerful expression of this is the country's bilingualism. Paraguay is one of the only nations in the Americas where the vast majority of the population speaks both the colonial language, Spanish, and the indigenous language, Guarani. This linguistic reality is a legacy of the country's historical isolation and the unique model of the Jesuit missions, which sought to preserve the local language. Today, Guarani is not just a language, it is the sound of home, of friendship, of poetry, and of the heart. It is common to hear friends switching effortlessly between the two mid-sentence, using Spanish for matters of commerce or formality, and Guarani for expressions of intimacy, humor, and emotion. This powerful heritage is celebrated most vividly in the daily ritual of tereré. It is more than just a drink, it is a social ceremony, a symbol of communion, and a great equalizer. A shared gourd, or guampa, often made from a hollowed-out bull's horn, is filled with yerba mate and ice-cold water, sometimes infused with medicinal herbs or yuyos. It is passed around a circle of friends, family, or co-workers by a designated server, the cebador. Each person sips from the same metal straw, or bombilla, in a simple, profound act of sharing. To be invited to a circle of tereré is to be welcomed, to be accepted as part of the group, regardless of social standing. There is an immense and quiet pride in this cultural identity. It is visible in the delicate, hand-woven yanduti lace, whose name means spiderweb in Guarani, a craft passed down through generations of women. It is audible in the gentle, melancholic melodies of the Guaraní, a style of folk music created by José Asuncion Flores, played on the harp and guitar, its sound perfectly capturing the romantic, soulful spirit of the land. This cultural fabric, woven from threads of resilience and a deep love for tradition, gives Paraguay its unique and enduring character. The land is the lifeblood of Paraguay. For centuries, the economy was built on the bedrock of agriculture and cattle ranching, and they remain the pillars of the nation's wealth. The fertile eastern region is a global powerhouse of soy production, its vast, mechanized farms stretching to the horizon, a landscape of modern, industrial agriculture. In the rugged semi-arid expanse of the Chaco, a different story unfolds. Here, hardy cattle are raised on immense estancias, a testament to the country's strong ranching tradition. The life of the Chaco gaucho is one of solitude and immense skill, a deep, practical connection to a harsh and unforgiving environment. In the cities, a different rhythm prevails. Asuncion is the commercial and administrative heart, a city of government offices, banks, and a growing service sector. Ciudad del Este, on the triple frontier with Brazil and Argentina, is a frenetic hub of international trade, a chaotic, energetic marketplace where fortunes can be made and lost in a day. For most Paraguayans, however, work is found in small, family-owned businesses: the corner store, the local restaurant, the mechanic's shop. A thriving informal economy exists alongside the formal one, a testament to the spirit of rebusque, a uniquely Paraguayan concept of resourcefulness, of finding a way to make a living with ingenuity and persistence. It is not seen as a hardship, but as a dignified form of self-reliance. It is the woman selling chipa from a large basket, balanced perfectly on her head, her call a familiar sound on city buses. It is the cuidacochis, the informal parking attendants who watch over cars for a small tip. It is the independent handyman whose reputation is built on word of mouth. It is a daily demonstration of the pragmatism and resilience that defines the Paraguayan approach to work. Paraguayan food is a direct and honest reflection of the land, hearty, simple, and deeply comforting. The cuisine is a delicious blend of Guaraní staples and Spanish influences, built around what the earth provides in abundance. Mandioca, or cassava, is the undisputed staple, the ever-present companion to every meal. This starchy root vegetable is served boiled, fried, or mashed into a soft, doughy puree called puree de mandioca. It is the daily bread, the essential foundation of the Paraguayan plate, providing sustenance and a comforting familiarity. Corn is the other cornerstone, most famously used to make sopa paraguaya. Confusingly, sopa, which means soup in Spanish, is not a liquid, but a dense, savory cornbread, rich with cheese, onions, and milk. Its close cousin, the chipa guasu, is a similar dish, but with a softer, more pudding-like consistency. Both are beloved national dishes, fixtures at every celebration. The asado, or barbecue, is a cherished social ritual, a slow-cooked feast of grilled meats that brings families and friends together for hours of conversation and connection. The parrillero, the grill master, takes immense pride in their work, slowly cooking cuts of beef, pork, and chicken over hot coals until they are perfectly tender. But at its core, Paraguayan food culture remains rooted in the home. Other humble classics like vori vori, a hearty chicken soup with small cornmeal and cheese dumplings, or pajagua mascada, a savory patty made from mandioca and meat, speak to a culinary tradition founded on making the most of what the land provides. Recipes are passed down through generations, taught not by written measurements, but by feel and by taste. A shared Sunday meal with family, featuring simple, satisfying dishes made from ingredients grown just a stone's throw away, remains the truest and most authentic taste of the country. To truly understand Paraguay is to understand its relationship with nature. The landscape is not a passive backdrop. It is an active, powerful force, a constant presence in daily life. The great rivers, the Paraguay and the Paraná, are the nation's arteries, providing transport, sustenance, and a profound sense of place. The vast wetlands of the Pantanal, one of the world's great ecosystems, spill into the country's north, a haven for an incredible diversity of wildlife. Capybaras, caimans, and hundreds of species of birds. The subtropical climate, with its long, hot, and humid summers, shapes an outdoor culture. The intense heat of the midday sun encourages a siesta, a quiet pause in the day's activities, a practical adaptation to the environment. As the afternoon wanes and the heat subsides, life moves outdoors. Porches or verandas and public plazas become communal living rooms, places to catch the evening breeze and connect with neighbors. This environment fosters a deep appreciation for the simple things: the deep shade of a large mango or lapacho tree, the sudden dramatic relief of a summer thunderstorm that washes the dust from the air, the nightly chorus of crickets and frogs. Life is lived with a profound awareness of the seasons, the sun, and the rain. This connection to the natural world is not something that is sought out on weekend excursions. It is an inescapable and cherished part of the fabric of being Paraguayan. For all its rural charm, Paraguay is a society navigating the currents of the modern world. A network of paved highways connects the major cities, but the heart of the country is still accessed by a web of unpaved, red earth roads that turn to rivers of thick mud in the rainy season. The colorful colectivo is the workhorse of the public transport system, a cultural icon in its own right. Each bus is a unique expression of its owner's personality, a rolling piece of folk art. A ride on a colectivo is an immersive experience, a microcosm of Paraguayan life. With vendors hopping on and off to sell everything from chipa to ice cream. In the countryside, the motorcycle is not a luxury or a recreational vehicle. It is a necessity, the family car, often carrying a husband, wife, and child on a single, resilient machine. This blend of the traditional and the contemporary is a defining paradox of Paraguayan life. It is entirely possible to live in a small, quiet town where life has remained unchanged for generations, yet still be connected to the wider world through a smartphone. High-speed internet and mobile technology have become powerful tools, bridging the distances between remote villages and bustling cities, and connecting the vast Paraguayan diaspora with their families back home. This digital bridge allows young people to participate in global culture while still sitting in a circle with their elders, sharing tereré. It is a carefully negotiated reality, a testament to the ability to adapt while preserving what is held most dear. For the young people of Paraguay, growing up here offers a unique blend of deep-rooted tradition and modern ambition. Education is seen as the path to a better future. And for higher education, many must leave the familiar comfort of their hometowns for the universities in Asunción. This move to the capital is a modern rite of passage. For a young person from a small, quiet town, the city can be a world of overwhelming new experiences, of diversity, of opportunity, but also of anonymity and loneliness, a stark contrast to the close-knit communities they left behind. Upon graduation, they face a difficult choice. The country's developing economy means that well-paying jobs in many professional fields are scarce, forcing many to look abroad, to Spain, Argentina, or the United States, for opportunities that simply do not exist at home. This brain drain is one of the most significant challenges facing the nation's future. But the pull of home, the deep-seated connection to this unique place, is incredibly strong. Many who leave do so with the firm intention of one day returning, drawn back by the powerful bonds of family, the comfort of the culture, and a patriotic desire to contribute to their country's development. For those who do stay, there is a passionate commitment to building a better Paraguay. They are artists, entrepreneurs, and activists, opening innovative cafes, creating small tech startups, and fighting to protect the environment, forging a new future for their nation on their own terms. The rhythm of day and night in Paraguay is a study in stark and beautiful contrasts. The daytime, under the intense subtropical sun, is for work and activity. The markets are bustling, the fields are being tended, the workshops are filled with the clang of metal, and the cities are filled with the focused, purposeful energy of a nation at work. The days are for doing, for making a living, for tending to the practical responsibilities of life. The heat itself seems to impose a sense of urgency, a need to get things done before the sun reaches its zenith. Conversely, as evening falls, a profound and palpable sense of calm descends. The fierce heat of the day softens into a warm, breezy evening, and life turns inward, toward family and community. The towns and plazas come alive in a different, more gentle way. This is a time for home, for rest, for connection. Families gather on their porches, their chairs pulled out onto the pavement. The sound of conversation and laughter drifting through the warm night air, punctuated by the chirping of crickets. The quiet nights are a time for reflection, for sharing stories, for simply being present. It is in this shared, nightly calm that the strength of the community is restored and recharged, ready for the new day. Life in this quiet heart of the continent is not without its significant challenges. Economic inequality is a persistent reality, with a stark divide between the affluent and the poor. This is most visible in the capital's riverside bañados, informal settlements that are home to thousands of families who live with the constant threat of the river's seasonal floods. The infrastructure, particularly in rural areas, often struggles to keep up with the needs of the population, and access to quality healthcare and education can be a lottery of geography. The landscape, for all its beauty, can be unforgiving. The changing climate brings the threat of both devastating floods and prolonged droughts, testing the resilience of a nation deeply dependent on the land. There is also the constant, complex challenge of balancing progress with preservation. How does a nation develop its economy without sacrificing its unique natural and cultural heritage? The pressure of deforestation for cattle ranching in the Chaco and the environmental impact of soy farming in the East are serious concerns. How does it create opportunities for its youth while maintaining the traditional family structures that provide so much strength? And how does it overcome a long history of political instability and corruption to build a more equitable future for all its citizens? These are the vital questions that the Paraguayan people grapple with, thoughtfully and collectively, every single day. So why do people choose to stay? Why, in a world of seemingly limitless options, do they remain rooted in this small, landlocked place? The answers are as varied as the individuals themselves, but they often circle back to the same core, fundamental themes. They stay for the profound, unshakable sense of family, for the Sunday asado that is an unbreakable ritual, for the feeling of belonging to a place where people genuinely know and care for one another. They stay for the unparalleled peace, for the simple, priceless freedom to live a life that is not dictated by frantic urgency, for the pervasive quiet that allows for a deeper connection to oneself and to the natural world. They stay for the culture, for the pride in their dual heritage, for the sound of Guaraní spoken in the street, a living link to an ancient past. In a world saturated with noise and distraction, Paraguay offers a rare and precious silence. And above all, they stay for the unbreakable connection to home, to a landscape that is not just a backdrop for their lives, but an integral part of their identity, a part of who they are. It is a connection that is forged in the heat of the sun, in the cool waters of the river, and in the shared, collective experience of living in a place of subtle, gentle, and enduring beauty. It is the feeling of having roots that run as deep as the rich, red earth itself. Paraguay exists in a delicate, beautiful, and constantly negotiated balance between the old ways and the new, between its Guaraní soul and its modern aspirations, between a cherished peace and the formidable challenges of the future. It is a place shaped by the sun, the river, and a quiet, unyielding, and deeply admirable strength. Here, life is not measured in grand events or dramatic upheavals, but in the steady, dependable rhythm of the seasons, in the warmth of a shared gourd of tereré, in the comfort of a familiar story. And in the simple, profound beauty of the everyday. It is a living testament to the idea that in a world that is constantly, relentlessly speeding up, there is still a place and a deep human need for a quiet life.